Hey guys, it's Vanessa at Cake Style, and today I'm making a really cool cake. I'm going to be making a nail polish bottle and I'm going to be placing it on a marble countertop. The first thing I did was cover a huge rectangular board with marble finish. Now if you'd like to see exactly how to do this, I have a video on it where I covered a cake in this, and I will add the links for you up here. I've also gone ahead and baked my cakes. I have 4 6-inch round cakes, and then I have 1 square 8-inch cake. I'm going to be using this and a 4-inch round cookie cutter to cut out our little handle bit. I've also got 4 cake boards, 2 that are 4-inch, a 5 and a 6. I've got a cake leveler to make my life a bit easier. I also have some conduit cutters which are used for cutting out dowels. Then I have a pencil and a spatula. I've got a tape measure because I want to make sure that these are getting to the right height. Now I have made this up in our vanilla bean and rosewater flavor. It's really beautiful and it's feminine and soft, and it kind of tastes like you're eating perfume, but in a totally good way. Trust me, it's gorgeous. So with these, I want to go all the way to the very edge. My cookie cutter is just under a 4-inch, so that should fit perfectly. And that will leave us with enough room to put our buttercream. So I'm going to start with the actual bottle itself, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of buttercream to our board. Take one of our cakes and pop that on, and then we're going to stack up 4 of our layers, adding this delicious vanilla and rosewater buttercream. Now what I want to do is place in some dowels. So I'm going to mark out 4 holes, mark out with a pencil, and then I want to take the conduit cutters and just cut right at that line. And then I just use my first one to measure up the rest. All right, so now I'm going to pop these in, add a bit of frosting, and pop our next layer down. Now what I'm going to do is take another one of our skewers, press it down, and then you can grab a hammer, or if you're careful, you can use your conduit cutters, and you're used to doing this a lot. And you will actually be able to push it through that board. And now I'm going to pop this into the fridge for about 10 minutes to set up. In that time, I want to get our little cakes ready. I'm not putting dowels in this because it's not going to be staying upright. Pop our last one on. Once this is chilled, I want to go ahead and just shave it down a touch, just to make sure it's nice and flat. I want to go ahead and make sure the cakes are joined together and do a nice crumb coat over the whole cake. I've got out my modeling chocolate. I have black and purple, and I will add in the description box the link to the recipe and the video for that. I also have some corn flour, a pizza cutter, an X-Acto or craft knife, our tape measure, and some smoothers. So the first step is to just get a nice coat of buttercream on here, and then taking my scraper, I'm just going to scrape around. Scrape that into the top, and apply a little bit on there as well. Now I'm going to place down some corn flour so that my modeling chocolate doesn't stick, and then start to roll it out. So I'm going to come along, cut a straight line. We need about 19 inches, so I'm going to go 19 and a half. I'll go up 8 and a half. Now I'm going to take a smaller rolling pin, just one that I usually use for fondant cutouts or for sugar flowers. I'm just going to use that to roll it up, press it against the cake, secure the first part, and that is the easiest way to wrap it around the cake. Pull out that excess and seal it up. And just make sure it's really adhered to the cake. Now I'm going to take this and cut across, and I prefer to watch the inside of the cake to make sure that I'm not cutting off the top of the cake. It's okay if the tiniest bit of frosting comes off. Now I'm going to take some more and roll out the top. drape that over, and then starting at the back, just come in until you find the cake. Now I've got out 2 cookie cutters that I'm going to be using for our top bit. Cut out a big circle first, and then make it even thicker for the little one. And then roll out a long sausage, and just wrap that around. And now it's time to do the same thing to the top tier. I want to do the bottom first. So this time we need to be about 8.5 inches high again, maybe just a touch higher, and 13 inches long. And wrap this around. And then all you need to do is just trim it up. Okay, now I'm going to use a large 4-inch round cookie cutter. It's just a little bit over 4 inches actually. And I'm going to cut out 2 of those. Now I'm going to lay the cake on its side, add a bit more buttercream, and secure this part. Now I want to apply a luster effect to this cake. This is completely optional, and it depends on which country you live in whether or not you can use lusters as a food item or whether it's just a non-toxic item. On the ones that I'm using today, it says food approved. So I'm mixing 2 colors together. I have a blush brush that I got from a cake decorating shop. I'm going to pat it in and then tap it down, and that helps to drop some of that into the base here. It'll just slowly release as you go. So you want to work on the back to start with. Nice circular movements, and you can see why it's so important to go for a soft brush. Now taking some parchment paper, I'm going to cut up some little bits. I've gone ahead and printed out 2 versions of the Revlon, and then I've got Colour Stay as well. And I want to pipe these onto the cake with royal icing because they are quite thin. So I've got some white royal icing here with a number 2 tip. But first what I need to do is map out the name. And then I'm going to take a scribe tool, or you can use a toothpick. And I want to go on the inside and then the outside. And this is the old school technique. Okay, so now it's all there. And you just want to squeeze, do 2 lines where it's double. And by double, I just mean double the thickness. And just pat those down. These ones are a lot easier. And now the easy letters. I want to do one last bit of piping here, and it's because most of the time on the top of these it has a number for the colour. Because we're celebrating a 13th birthday, I thought it would be kind of cool to put a 1-3 on it just to make it extra special. So I've got my board, I've got my cakes, I've also got a little bit of white chocolate. I also have some royal icing to attach the cakes to the board. I have a balloon end which I'm going to be using to help us create the drip, and I just need a little bit of heat to make that all happen. So the first thing I want to do is set down the cake. The next thing you want to do is bend this. Now, in all honesty, it needs to be bent right down really low, but because you don't want to burn your hands, you can go up a little bit higher. Pick a spot, give it a little bit of heat, and then start to bend it. That's going to go in a little ways. So if we can have that about here, add a bit of white chocolate, and allow that time to set. The next step in this is to take some of our black modeling chocolate, roll it out, and then pick it up and smooth it around. I want to give it a pinch, and that section is going to look like our brush. So now you want to score it with your X-Acto knife, give it a trim. So now what I want to do is pierce a hole in the cake. So just want to roll this over and attach with royal icing. Tilt. The last part is definitely the most fun. I've got some of my beautiful purple and I've popped it into the microwave for 6 seconds. That was it. And basically, I want to wrap it around I want to make it look like it's dripping, and then finish it off by applying a bit of luster, just to make it just as pretty. And there we are, guys. We have our spilled nail polish cake. I had so much fun making this. I've wanted to make it for ages. Sometimes you just have a cake design that you cannot get out of your head. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up if you like these videos, and I will see you next week.